Hey y'all, welcome back. It is Christmas in July. I am filming this on July the 2nd, and I'm going to be sort of intermingling a handful of Christmas videos in with my regular crafting videos all month long to give you a jump start on your holiday crafting. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make two crafts. One is a super easy wreath, the other one a cute little diorama to set up on your mantle or table, bookshelf, wherever you want to put it. Stay tuned, I'll show you how to make both of them. Alright y'all, Christmas in July. It is July the 2nd, and I'm going to have Christmas videos scattered throughout this month, intermingled with some other craft videos. So anyway, what I have here with this dirty tag, look at this, this is terrible. Well, I just got this out of storage, so yeah, I don't know why it's dirty though. But anyway, you're going to need an 8-inch wreath form. These come from Dollar Tree and they do come two in a pack, but we're just going to be using one of them. So you're going to need one of those. You're also going to need some of this yarn. This is the big and bulky sparkle Chanel yarn, and this is Mainstays brand. This comes from Walmart. Now Joann's has their own brand, as does Michael's, Hobby Lobby. Pretty much any craft store carries this big bulky Chanel yarn. It is a super bulky yarn, a size 6. Okay, so we're going to be using some of that. Let me take the label off. Okay, now you're not going to use this whole entire skein of yarn. You're only going to be using part of it. So you could get several wreaths out of one of these. All right, so first off, what we're going to do is we're going to take the end of this and I'm going to flip this over because I'm going to glue it on the back, and we're going to bring it up and around, and I think my glue gun's hot enough. I'm hoping so. I'm just going to put some glue there, and now let's hold this down like so. Did my camera cut off before I was finished talking a while ago? I think it did. But anyway, now what we're going to do is let's just get some here. And I'm just going to cut it and then take the bulk of this and just set it over there so that it's not all up in the way. And now, really simple, we're just going to wrap the entire wreath frame with this yarn like so. And just put you a blob of glue ever so often, just in case somebody messes with it and it pulls your yarn loose. The whole thing won't come undone. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap all the way around. Okay, so this is all wrapped around, and now I have this Christmas ornament. This was from Walmart. I want to make double sure. I'm pretty sure all of this stuff came from Walmart. After Christmas, I buy up a ton of stuff on clearance so that I can make Christmas videos in July. So I'm pretty sure I would pay like 50% of this. So, and Walmart usually carries these big, huge ornaments every year. If not, if you don't see it in your Walmart this year, then check, you know, other craft stores, what have you. So I don't like this bit up here at all. So I'm going to take my trusty wire cutters and I'm going to cut it off. Okay, so all of that is gone now. As you can see, this ornament fits down very nicely in the very center of these 8-inch wreath frames. Now the edge here, I'm going to put the glue actually on the wreath so I don't have to worry about not touching it as I flip the ornament over. Okay, let me see. Do I need another glue stick? Uh-oh, I'm dropping things. All right. Try to work quickly here so that your glue doesn't set up, and I'm just going to put glue all the way around the inside here. Whee! Hurry up, Amber. As you can see, I pressed that ornament, really pressed it down onto the yarn, and I kind of left a little indentation so that I could see where to put my glue. And I'm just going to set it right down there on top like so. Press it down, and then we're going to let that sit. Okay, so this has cooled down. I know this ring light gets on my nerves. I don't know if it gets on your nerves, but I can't help it. That's what I use to film. So these berries here, these two berry picks came from Walmart, and also this little clip here. This little greenery clip. Now I'm going to take this clip off. I think the scissors should work fine for that. I do believe. Yeah, I just cut it there at the glue because I'm just going to glue it right here. Now let me take the labels off these berries. Now for this, I want this to kind of come down this way. I don't know if I want to use the whole sprig or if I just want to cut pieces, but I think maybe the whole one should be fine. Now this is wired, of course. You can just bend it around like so, just to get it to curve however you want it. I think I bent that too much. Amber, goodness gracious. Okay, so that looks okay. And now let's do that to this side as well. I'm not even going to worry with wiring this down. I'm just going to hot glue it. So let's see. Let's get right there. And then I'm just going to put a big old blob of hot glue right there. And then I'm going to just press these in place. Let's get it, let's see, exactly where I want it. Press it in place and then hold that down. Okay, now we have our greenery here, and this glue has not completely set up yet, okay? I'm just putting another big blob right there. And then I'm just going to press this down on top and hold that in place until the glue sets up, because this is a little heavy and it's going to fall down. So I got to hold that in place. So we hold that there and then we'll come back. All right, our glue has set up. And now what I'm going to do, and this is a trick I've done several times. Can't remember if I've done it on a video or not. But anyway, if you want to put a bow on something and you're not quite sure if you want a bow, and then maybe you come back later and you want to add a bow, or if like this, you're putting a whole bunch of stuff on like a smaller wreath, and if you put a bow underneath, all of this stuff is going to get real bulky real quick, okay? But what you can do is just take some ribbon, and I love this ribbon. This came from Joann's last Christmas. And you know what? Let's go ahead and trim the end off of this because there's some more showing. But what you can do is just take some ribbon, and you see how I'm just kind of folding a loop here? And let's see if that loop will be big enough. I think that loop will be fine. Now what you can do is just take your ribbon and then just make a few loops. I'm going to do 3. And you see I'm not even making a bow. All I'm doing is I'm just looping. Hold on, I need to get some more. I'm just looping, looping, looping. Let's see, that needs to be a little bit longer. I think that'll look just fine. No, let's give it a little bit more. And you see, I've just created loops. That's all I've done. I just created a handful of loops. And now let's trim the ribbon here and set that over there. And now what I have is some of this floral wire. I'm just going to take a little bit of this, and we're just going to kind of bunch it up together. Let's get our loops exactly when we want them. Just kind of bunch this up together, and then I'm just going to wrap some wire around the end. What does that do? It's just holding it together. That's all it's doing. Holding it together. I need something to help me hold it together. I'm barely holding it together. All right. So you just wrap the rest of that wire around. Yes, I've got a black spot on my hand. That's paint. I've got a whole bunch of Halloween crafts going over here as well. Okay, you see? So I've got that. So I'm going to make another one of those for a total of 2 of these little ribbon bundles. All right, so now we have our little bundles here, and let me kind of prop this up on something. There we go, so I can see it a little bit better. Then what you can do is you just take these little ribbon bundles, and you can make as many loops as you want. Just stick them wherever you want them, and then just glue them in, okay? Like I said, it doesn't take up a whole bunch of bulk in the center. So let's see. You could just lift up this greenery here. Can y'all see what I'm doing? And you just stick it down in there, and then you just hot glue it in place, and then you just fluff up your loops, okay? Like so. I think that'll look good right there. So let's take this hot glue and let's pick up all this stuff. I know you're like, well, why didn't you do that first? Because I didn't want to. And I like to wait till I get everything on so that you know exactly how big to make your loops, right? Okay. I'm just going to glue that there, and then once that has set up, I will fluff them out, and I'll glue the other one over here. There we go. Loops are all fluffed out. Like I said, you know, you can make as many loops as you want to and just stick them wherever and don't have to worry about tying a bow. But here is your wreath. Now, how would you hang it? Take a piece of wire and just go through your yarn, okay? Move your yarn to the side a little bit, and then take your wire and then just run it through there and just wrap it around your wreath frame, the top ring of your wreath frame there, and then just hang it. But anyway, there's that. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, I understand now. What does she have? And yes, I just turned my fan up because it is 95 degrees today and I'm hot in here. But anyway, this here is a piece of wood. It is this bark edge board. This came from Hobby Lobby. You can see it's just a slab of wood, and I like the bark here. I like the way that looks. And I also have this raggedy little church ornament, bless its heart, from Dollar Tree. You know what? Let's go ahead and just cut this tag off. And I don't like this up here at the top. So let's just take some wire cutters and let's see, let's just cut that right on off there. I will trim that down here in a second. I know that's looking raggedy, but I'll trim it down here in a second. And now let's decide where I want this placed. And I think right about here looks good. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to trace out a little spot where I want the church, and you'll see why here in a second. Okay, now I've got this little square drawn out here. Why did I do that? Because I'm going to be gluing these trees on here. And I do need room to maneuver my hand among the trees and paint and do that. And if I glue everything down to begin with, then I'm not going to have the ability to do that. So, y'all know when I glue things to it, I try to not glue it like on top of paint if I can help it. Because in case the paint chips or something, then all of your decorations will fall off. That's why I like gluing them on first before I use paint. And sometimes you can't help it, but if I can get around that, then I will. All right, so the little church is going to be sitting here. So I have all of these trees from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to be gluing them down because I'm going to be painting. I'm going to be painting and putting on some fake snow. So let's just kind of decide where I want this. I think that looks good. Just kind of stagger them like so. And then we can put like the small ones there. Let's see how that will look. I think that'll look just fine. So let's make sure my glue gun is heated up here. It's not quite hot enough. So let me let that heat up and then come back and glue them on. So now let's just put some glue. Push that down in there because my glue stick wasn't far enough down in there, and it's still not all that warmed up. But anyway, you can see how I have the trees placed on the board. You put them wherever you want to put them. So I'm just going to glue them all down like so in their little places. And then once that glue has set up, we're going to come back and add on some paint and some fake snow. Okay, trees are glued down. Whoopsie doodle. And I have some of this fake snow. I think this came from Hobby Lobby. It looks like a Hobby Lobby tag, doesn't it? Yeah, Oklahoma City. Yeah, that's from my Hobby Lobby. But I have that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this white and then sprinkle the snow on there while the paint is still wet, okay? And it will hold it on. Because like I said, I don't like gluing things on top of paint if I can help it. And now I have room, as you can see, to get my hand in there to actually work. Whereas if I would have glued the church down already, I wouldn't have that much space. Now, I don't want to get glue. Oh, my Lord. I don't want to get paint. Whoopsie. I don't want to get paint over here because I like the way that this looks. I want you to be able to tell, hey, that's a real piece of wood, you know? So, I'm going to try very hard to not get it on the little square that I drew for the church. And I'm still going to try to keep a line here, right across here, so like I said, you could tell that it's an actual piece of wood. Okay, now we've got that paint on there. You're just going to take your snow and just sprinkle a little bit on there. As you can see, it will stick. Just press it down, and then I like to hold it over a bag and I'll just shake off the excess. Okay, or if you don't want to do that, then you can paint it, and then once your paint is dry, go over it with some Mod Podge and sprinkle it on top of the Mod Podge. Okay, so I'm going to do this whole board like that, with the exception of this line here and where the little church is going to go, and then we'll come back. I've done a pretty good job of getting it on there. Now you're just going to let that set up, and you're just going to get any excess snow out of the way. Go, Gadget Nails. Just get some of the snow out of the way, and then we're going to glue the little church down, okay? And it should be pretty stable. Just get some glue on there. Whee! Like so, and then stick it down. I was trying to fit a tea light into the back of the little church, and I couldn't. The tea lights that I have, let me show you. You know, just the little tiny tea lights. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. And I was trying to fit that into the back of the church so it would light up, but it won't fit. And then I had tried to cut the side of it to make it fit, and I cracked it all the way down the back. So if you want to attempt to do that, then, you know, you can do that. No problem. But I have some red candles because this needs some color. I have some red candles, and I think I'm going to stick them right here, just these little battery-powered ones. I want to hurry up and get this done. This is not dry yet, not by a long shot. But my kids are hungry, and let me get my candles. I'm making honey chicken and chicken fried rice tonight for supper, and they're pretty excited about it. But anyway, these are the candles that I have. These here. Let's just turn them on. Ah! Just nestle that down in that snow. Oops. Okay. And then that gives us some color. Now let me see, maybe if I have something I can glue to the top of the little church here. I don't know if I want to do that. Let me take a step back and look at it and see what I want to do. Okay, I think I do want to put a little bit of greenery on here. So I have this little sprig. I don't even know what this came off of. Came off with something. This little sprig here, and I think I'm just going to glue it right there. Because this, just all of this white here in the center, I'm not liking. And you could pretty much, like if you wanted to put a little bow on the church or something, it seems like everybody says, put a bow on it, you know, no matter what you do, put a bow on it. And this looks like I said a while ago, like it has some gold, stupid fly, like it has some gold and silver and white sparklies on it. So, you know, pretty much any color of ribbon would probably look good on that. Any Christmassy type ribbon. But anyway, there is that. I might need to hold that in place till that glue sets up. But anyway, just something cute to set on a mantle. So I'm going to back up. Let me take a picture of this for you. And that will be that. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you would, give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe. Check me out on other forms of social media. The links to all of which will be in the description box down below. And I will talk to y'all next time. Bye.